What?
Hey.
Welcome. It's Wednesday
back.
again.
It is.
Can you believe it? It's been a week already.
Yes, I can. It's felt like it. It's felt like an entire. It's felt like 7 weeks in the last week. To be honest,
I feel like it's been a million years since last week.
Yeah, man, it's been.
So
we've just
busy.
been balls to the wall here.
Been getting stuff done though.
So many orders, filling up orders from Vegas, and got almost all of that done. So,
goodness.
yeah, it's been crazy, but super fun.
Ugh.
Super proud, happy. And all that good stuff, you know.
Doing all the fun stuff. And this week is so exciting. We picked a really good movie for this week.
If you can't tell by my sweet hand accessory here, I am so excited about this movie this week because it is probably one of my favorite movies that ever existed.
I knew when I pitched this idea at you that it was a done deal.
Absolutely.
I didn't even come in with a backup and plan. I just knew it was. I knew we were ready.
No, I am stoked about it. Anyhow, I'm Brian.
I'm Drew.
We are from Jewelry This Way. See the URL up above, jewelrythisway.com. You're probably thinking, what's going on right now? These people are with a jewelry company. Why are they talking about movies?
It's a good question.
We name all of our jewelry after 80s movies, and then we like to do a live stream where we talk about the movies that we name the jewelry after because it's fun. And why not?
Sometimes the jewelry is inspired by the movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just jewelry named after the movie.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know. But yeah, so... Should we just dive into it? I think so.
I think so. There's not many weekly updates. Usually we have some updates for y'all, but we've just been working on pre-existing everything.
Yeah, everything.
But it's going well. Thanks for asking.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's pop over to this movie review.
Let's do it.
One of them is old, the other is not. Let's pop in the tape and give it a shot. It's time for Retro Reactions with Drew and Bryan.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
All right. Today's movie. The Wizard.
The Wizard. Not to be confused with The Wiz or any other
or the
Wizard
Wizard of Oz.
movie.
No, it has nothing to do with any of that.
It took me a minute of Googling to find the right movie, but we got there.
Yes. And it's such a good movie. We've got an all-star cast in this movie.
Genuinely an all-star cast. It's so crazy.
Yeah, right? So it's Ben or Fred Savage? It's Ben, right? That's in this movie?
I think it's Fred Savage.
Is it Fred? It's one of the two. The other kid was Boy Meets World,
Yeah.
So this was pre-Boy Meets World. This was the Wonder Years kid. So that show was before your time. And then we've got the girl, it was Jenny Lewis, is that her name?
Yeah.
Right? And she's a famous singer now.
Yeah.
She's a band or something. I don't know.
Every one of these people, watching the intro, I've recognized the name, even if I couldn't place him. I was I've definitely heard of
Christian
this person.
Slater
Oh my God.
as the random brother. Come on now.
It was
great
such
movie.
a wild movie.
Great movie. Yes. I'm so excited to talk about
90-minute Nintendo ad.
Yes.
Oh, it was wild.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, so we're going to do a deep dive. We're firing up the old Nintendo cartridge, and we're taking a bit of a nostalgic ride. It's The Wizard. This is 1989. And this has that Who Killed the Radio Star on a Nintendo power-up screen. I think it kind of launched the modern video game movie subgenre. Not that that's a giant genre to begin with, but this is definitely an icon in it.
I mean, it's grown in popularity a lot as a genre. We have how many Mortal Kombat movies now?
Oh my God, right.
The Mario movies are crushing it. So
Anyhow, that's true.
The Wizard is just one of those movies that feels like a love letter to the 80s, to 80s kids, who spent every Saturday at the arcade, which is me, except we didn't have an arcade. The arcade was Derek's house because they had all the video games. But if you grew up with an NES, a Game Boy, Nintendo Power magazines, this film probably still lives in your brain somewhere between Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong. I know it's never left my brain.
And for those who missed it the first time around, because I think we just used a lot of interesting words to describe this movie. We're going to go through the plot. We're going to do kind of some behind the scenes trivia, and we're going to dig into some of the conspiracy theories that are on Reddit because they're a little wild.
Yeah, they are.
So we open the film with this classic 80s road trip montage.
Such a good 80s montage. Man, I love an 80s montage.
What was it? Like a Chevy Nova cruising down the desert highway. There's a cassette tape blasting Don't Dream It's Over. And you've got these two kids, and they're like little kids on their way to Vegas.
Yes. Right off the bat, we get the vibe that the Wizard is like a cross between like American Graffiti and a video game showcase. So the opening title sequence actually uses the same font as the original NES box art for Super Mario Brothers, which is a little Easter egg there. You know, only the true collectors notice. But yeah, you see these kids walking down the highway. You're not quite sure what's going on. All of a sudden, there's like an airplane zooming over, and
it's like they're in a desert.
Yeah.
I was real confused by the opening. You kind of just jump straight into the movie. Yeah. The camera kind of lingers on like a lot of these highway signs, like the Welcome to Arizona and Nevada signs. And you're getting these like general cues that we're crossing state lines. But again, these are small children, no adults.
No adults. And back then too, like obviously internet didn't really exist like it exists now. So we couldn't go and like watch trailers or look into the movies and see like this. We only had like whatever we saw was a coming attraction at a theater when we were going to see a different movie, or maybe there was like a random trailer that you would see as a commercial break, right? So the Wizard had all of this hype behind it because this was like the Nintendo movie, and they were going to showcase Super Mario Brothers 3, which had not been released in the US yet and was going to be a massive hit, which it was, but this was like the first time people were getting to see this game. So you start watching this movie and you're like, this doesn't feel like a video game type thing. Like I went into this expecting like a Scott Pilgrim type vibe, right?
Yeah. Okay. So when you first gave me like the gist of this movie, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking kids, video games. I was thinking we were going to see lots of like video game montage.
No.
And not till the end did we really get that.
Yeah, no, it's way more.
There's a whole movie to go with this.
Yes. So we start off with like our cast here. We have Jimmy, who is the Wizard, right? All right.
Wizard.
Jimmy is he's a wizard, but not like in a sorcerer sense. He's just a prodigy gamer who can beat any game with like his eyes closed, right?
On the first go around too, might I add. Like he's just starting out as like A1 top tier gamer on the first playthrough.
Complete savant too. Like this kid is, he's nonverbal. He loves to build stacks things. Like nowadays we'd look and be like, oh, this kid's got the tism. Like it's totally cool, whatever.
Yeah, put him on a game.
But yeah, and then he turns out being like super, super good at video games. And it actually turned out Luke Edwards, who played Jimmy, he was actually a competitive arcade player in real life. And he held some high scores on Donkey Kong at the time of filming.
That is hilarious.
Because there were, competitions for arcade games back then.
Yeah. It's like you could find a competition for anything.
I know.
So a fun fact, the Wizard nickname comes from, a 1970s arcade flyer that called top scoring players the Wizard of the Arcade. And it just kind of stuck. The studio really liked it because it sounded mystical and it wasn't like too on the nose. And I will say, like, the whole time I thought he was going to have like a wizard character.
Yeah,
like it makes sense in terms of like the video game aspect. At least it did to me going into it.
Yeah. And there is a callback to the name of the like a little meta spot in the movie where like they say the name of it. It's like, what is he? Some kind of wizard? Yeah.
That was a good one. That was one of those moments where it's like, they said the line. They said the thing.
Yeah. So you also have Jimmy's brother, Corey, who's played by one of the Savage kids. And Corey is like the most emo kid possible. He's also
so funny.
He's got an abusive stepfather, which is played by Tim Curry from The Walking Dead. He dreams of escaping to Las Vegas where his mother lives. Christian, he was only, what am I trying to say here? His performance is weird. Like his own family situation kind of mimicked what he was going through in the movie. Like they overlapped a little bit too. So like
the actor.
Yeah. Like his real life. That's what I'm trying to say. His real life overlapped. And I think that's why we get such intense scenes from him. Like you really see this child like feeling and going.
There
through
were some
shit
moments
in
where he
this
was
movie,
yelling
like,
at his dad, and I was like, "This is a little too real."
Yeah, like this is therapeutic for him right now.
Literally. There is so much tension between like this little kid and these adults.
Yes.
And there's this scene where Corey just watches this Super Mario Bros. Demo on a TV, and he's like seeing the world and like all these different pixelated things, and like princesses getting rescued and happily ever after, and that I feel like that's all he wanted for like himself.
He did. He just really wanted.
He just wanted to go be
and
happy
normal.
and like his parents to be happy, but they're going through this weird, messy divorce.
Yeah, and they're not really taking care of poor Jimmy, like his little brother. They want to throw him in a home because they're like, we can't deal with him. He doesn't want to talk.
Yeah,
he likes to play
and
with
then
Legos.
there's like this older brother who's like trying to rekindle his relationship with his father, and that's not going well.
Yeah. So they go out. Trying to back up here. We're getting off tangents.
We're
so
excited.
Much. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So we find out like these kids run away, right? And you've got
They're like 8 years old running away.
You've got the older brother and the dad who like they team up. They go on the road. They're looking for the kids. They've got some weird little one-liners, and I don't know. They're nice. They're good comedic relief, I feel like.
That's where like the aspect of them trying to like rekindle this relationship. Like you have this like almost like older teenager, young adult, like brother and then dad that are like kind of duking it out on the road looking for little brother, trying to fix the relationship at the same time.
Yeah.
And you don't really know where it falls in the movie until like way later.
Yeah. And you know what brings them together? Nintendo.
Of course.
It's always Nintendo.
It's always Nintendo. You just got to play a game.
So now we hit kind of the meat of the movie, right? We've got the iconic Mario Brothers demo at this big CES convention.
Dude, it was giant. I don't know what I was expecting, but I did not expect them to be walking into like a whole staged setup for this.
Whole stage setup, right? That whole scene was actually shot on a real Nintendo prototype. It was a model that like never made it to market, but fun fact.
Man, the developers from Nintendo actually let the crew play with the hardware for the full day of filming.
Ooh.
It was what I ended up reading online. And I feel like you can see some of the genuine excitement in the little kid's face when they're like going and doing these scenes. Because this is probably the first time they're playing with this. And it was probably so exciting, especially knowing now that like he was actually really good at video games.
Yeah.
And was like,
he might have been one of the first people in like the States to get to play the game too, which
would have had me as a kid like
holy
so
shit,
jazzed
right?
up. I'd be like, I'm the first person ever. I'd be telling everyone.
Yeah.
I'd be insufferable.
The Nintendo Power magazine that's shown on the table in this scene here is actually a genuine 1989 issue. It's actually the March 89. The editorial staff gave the production team a complimentary copy, and they even inserted a hidden code in the background that unlocks a secret level in Mario Brothers when entered into the game's cheat menu. We try there. The rumor goes on, but it doesn't really work. So,
interesting.
Yeah, maybe it worked back then, but definitely not on the final release.
You know what was killing me with this whole thing is like they have this magazine, which print media used to be much bigger in the 80s than it is today. But I thought, that was a really cool advertisement. And then we get this cutaway scene of the people working for Nintendo where they call in with questions.
That was a real thing.
I remember we briefly talked about it before we ever picked this movie, and it came up and I paused the movie. I was like, I know about this.
Yeah.
This is real.
Absolutely real. Can you imagine that's your job?
What a job. He was whipping out binders. They were just sitting there playing. Oh my God.
Yeah, there was
what a
no
job.
like computer reference. Like they're just like, oh, you're playing, Dragon Warrior 7. Let me pull this book out and what scene, what level are you on? And people would pay by the minute too to call these people and get help for the Nintendo
and they're
games.
on the phone with these people for like a long montage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he had to learn 50 new games or something
in like the span of like 3 days.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Love it.
All right, back to where we were. Between the arcade sequences, we have a series of these like road trip moments. You've got gas station fights. We've got these desert tumbleweeds. We have this like fun scene where they're like hiding out in a payphone to make a call. Each of these things kind of feel like a very classic 80s teen movies. Like it reminded me of The Goonies when we watched by that.
A little bit, yeah.
it was just it felt so nostalgic watching these scenes where they were just like traveling long term. And again, these are small kids traveling state lines. That threw me off this whole movie. Like adults are looking for them, but all these adults are just assisting them along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No questions asked.
So that gas station that you mentioned, I don't know if you noticed, but there's like an old Marlboro cigarette sign in the background. And that was actually like really subtle commentary on how corporate sponsorship was already like infiltrating youth culture, even before like Nintendo branding took over. But the director later said that he wanted to show that kids were always being sold something, you know, whether it's cigarettes or video games. Which is ironic because this entire movie is a Nintendo ad.
This whole movie is an advertisement.
Yes, 100%.
90% of the dialogue was them talking about video games and why you should play video games.
Yeah.
I felt very sold at the end.
Right?
I was like, I kind of want to just get on like the Xbox or something. I want to play a game now. All right, so some fun facts. The desert location is a former NASA test site in New Mexico where they filmed this, which I thought was quite interesting. Some of the crew members, actually retired engineers who helped design the early Atari chips. They insisted on using like an authentic circuit board for one of the props where Jimmy repairs an old arcade machine. So it was very interesting. Cool. Like just how authentic most of these items were, which at the time probably wasn't as surprising as it is now.
Yes. Yeah. So this whole time they're going on this massive journey, right? Because I think we even forgot some of the plot here. They're going out to California. They're going out to the World Video Game Championships. Why are they going out there? It's because they want to win a bunch of money and they want to keep Jimmy out of a home. Because if Jimmy can prove to the adults that he has a talent and he has some value, they're not going to put him away. And everything's going to be saved. You know, the families are going to be saved. Everyone's going to live happily ever after. Along the way, they run into this girl who is like their age, and she's also into video games. And they go and they hustle like these businessmen to get money from them.
She's like the marketing business savvy side.
Is,
She's like, I'm going to help y'all make money so that I can make some money.
So we find out that she's just on the road. She's just like an 8-year-old child just on the road because her dad's a trucker.
Going from point A to point B.
He just sends her out and be like, I don't know, you can hitchhike home with other truckers because they're super trustworthy. So they go on this adventure with this girl, and along the way, they meet this guy, Lucas, right? And that's what I'm getting to is Lucas. Lucas is probably my favorite character in the movie.
Lucas was so funny to me. I don't know why, but I think we've all met someone like Lucas at least once in our lives.
He took himself so seriously.
So incredibly serious. This child was so serious about everything.
So Lucas is like the guy when it comes to playing video games.
No one can beat Lucas.
No one can beat Lucas. He's the best,
man.
Right? So Lucas has all 87 Nintendo games, and he knows all of them.
Back of his hand.
And he is also going to go play at the Nintendo World Championships. And the best part is he has a gang that likes to stick up for him. They carry around his Nintendo games for him. They carry around a hard shell case to pull out Lucas's Power Glove, just to show off this accessory and how cool it is. And again, this was one of the first times that we'd ever seen this thing. This was like the unveiling for it. This was the commercial for the Power Glove. And as a kid, I saw this damn thing. And I was like, oh my God, look at him play Rad Racer like this. I have to have this thing. So I saved up my Christmas money, Drew.
Okay, so I had like a vague idea that this was happening. I thought this movie was going to be way more Power Glove focused. Let's start there. So I knew we made some jewelry. And it was kind of based on this. And I like knew that the Power Glove was a big moment and that this was a big Nintendo movie. Other than that, I didn't really have a ton of context. We tried not to talk about it too much because I wanted to be like surprised. When they pulled this thing out, it's over halfway through the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent so long waiting to see like the iconic Power Glove and thinking it's going to be everywhere. Good luck. And they pull it out and it is on screen for approximately 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And never again.
So yeah. So we see Lucas. He kicks ass, right? He is just Rad Racer and all over the place. And
Which it did look really fun. I'm not gonna lie, it looked incredibly fun to play a driving game with this thing. Good.
And let me tell you, in real life, this accessory was a complete piece of shit. It did not work at all. Every time you moved and did something, it did something else. Like it was just a pure piece of shit.
It's strictly for looks.
Yeah. And I mean, did I buy one as a kid? Absolutely. I was sold on that marketing and I was so disappointed. And then I bought another one as an adult just because I wanted to have one around the house, because why not?
So nice. You bought it twice.
Yeah, I know. But in this scene, we get the best line in the movie, in my opinion. And Lucas looks at the camera and he's just got the most serious face. And he looks at everyone and goes, I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. And we're just like, oh,
it's
damn,
such
Lucas,
a mic drop moment.
Oh, mic drop. And then we get the savage kid who throws his arm around the girl and goes, yeah, well, just keep your power gloves off her, okay, bud? Oh, it's on.
It's on. I couldn't handle it. I thought that was so funny because like these are genuine children. Like you're looking at these kids and you're like, there's no way they're like even in double digits. Like this is like 8, 9 years old,
But
maybe
they
an
are
11-year-old.
Serious.
They take themselves more serious than some adult actors I've seen.
Absolutely.
It was hysterical.
Yeah,
And they
so
look distraught because this all happens. So Lucas plays the game first and Jimmy's supposed to like go hustle him out of some money and play the game as well. And Jimmy just turns around and leaves.
Yep.
Like he knows he's not going to win. He doesn't want to put his money on the table. Like, he just
just like,
leaves.
nah.
He just walks off, doesn't say a word, walks out,
Yep.
and it's just gone.
But then they're like, oh, Jimmy feels defeated. Now he's not going to go compete in the world championship. So, they got to build him back up. And the whole time, this kid is just like, California. Because that's all he says. The whole movie is California.
And he makes some good facial expressions. So you can kind of tell like what's up with him. And he does break his silence one time and says, I do want to play.
Yeah.
And they go from like, we're going home now to we're back going to California.
Yes.
Immediately. Like there's no, Jimmy said something other than California. We're taking him as serious as possible.
Yeah. So these kids, they end up hitchhiking across. I don't even know where they started at, to be honest.
So they go back to the girl's house, and then she calls her trucker friend.
Well, house. She tells us a lot about how nice of a house she has, how big it is. Her mom is like this dancer in Reno or something. And then they get to her house, and it's a trailer in the middle of the desert, and I don't believe there's any adults around.
There's not a single adult in that house.
No.
But you know what? They make lemons out of lemonade, and they got a place to stay, so that's nice.
It's true. Yeah. But they end up pressing onwards.
Their trucker friend drives them all the way out there.
Yeah,
they hit California. They sprint into this giant warehouse TV setup.
Yes.
You would think this whole thing was like live on television, the way it's set up.
Yes. I mean, massive production.
Insanity.
So Nintendo actually did host like World Video Game Championship event type things. So like this wasn't out of the realm of possibility. This kind of stuff happened.
Just very authentic.
So the climax basically takes place in like a massive CES style hall. Jimmy faces off against a rival gamer in a high stakes Super Mario Brothers speed run. All right. Tensions amplified. We've got cool scores going by like the guy who also scored the Goonies. So the music in this movie really draws you in. It makes
does.
you feel.
The music is very 80s. They hit you with a Send Me an Angel scene. And oh my God, I had to pause everything. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen.
Not as good as the bicycle boogie scene in Rad, but
no, not nearly,
second.
but it did hit
Second.
the 80s chord right on the head. It was hilarious. But you see, Jimmy is in the top 3. He's doing this speed run with everyone. And I think this is kind of where it leans into like the wizard motif of like Jimmy is just a savant. He is just a wizard at video games. He's gonna figure it out, no problems. And he does falter when in Mario Kart twice. He loses 2 lives. He's down to like his final life and he's behind.
Yeah.
You kind of think he's gonna lose.
We're pretty sure.
I was pretty sure. I was like, man, he made it this far. Maybe like second place makes some money too, but he pulls through because he's the wizard. I
think we did some conspiracy theories.
Oh, there's a good amount.
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab some popcorn. These are some bizarre things we found on the internet.
Tell me.
You want me? Okay.
Yeah, tell me. What do you know?
So, number 1, the wizard is a time traveler from 1995.
Okay.
Right? Because this is like an 89 movie. So that's only like a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some Reddit threads out there on the internet that explain that Jimmy's uncanny ability to predict the upcoming release and his knowledge of the games don't really suggest he's a prodigy, but that he's a time traveler. And some of the evidence is the NES prototype shown. It's a 1990 model, which is like a little beforehand. So I think it was more so that they were trying to get a lot of new tech in the movie.
Yeah.
And they gave it to him. And then people found the rabbit hole to go down.
So he was sent back in time to like ensure Nintendo's success.
I think he like went back in time so that he could like win this money. It's a stretch of a theory. And again, it's one of those, I think Nintendo gave them a lot of tech ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty fun one to think about. Just thinking that like this kid time traveled just to go win a video game competition.
Right.
I could see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, corporations have spent more money on less.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's theory number 2, which I think kind of backs up the idea that like, you know, they're just giving them a lot of new stuff. But the movie's a hidden advertisement for a never released console, which we do kind of figure out.
Okay.
You know, that's what they're playing in the actual like scene. It was a piece that never actually got released. But a handful of diehard collectors argue that the Wizard contains secret product placement for the Nintendo Power Station, a home hybrid console arcade situation. And Nintendo canceled that project before the film was even released.
Oh.
You do kind of see it whenever they're like standing up there playing the game. But this was supposed to be a much bigger leak than it was.
Interesting.
So, you know, they were trying to advertise and kind of gauge people's reactions ahead of time. And that's why they pulled the plug on some of these things.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
We got to get Nintendo to comment for that one.
Yeah. I had seen that the script originally had a line where Jimmy said, one day you'll be able to play these games at home.
I believe it because
Yeah.
they leaned in. So the dad, when he was out searching for his son, really leaned into the whole like, oh my God, the whole family loves this and I love this.
yes.
And now we're going to do this as a family and we're all
Yes.
going to have something to do to get along.
I loved the
So, like, I could see
scene
it.
where the dad and the brother go on the road together and they make sure that they take the Nintendo with them. And so like the car breaks down and he's like, oh, there's a TV inside this auto repair shop. I'm just going to go ahead and hook up this Nintendo, which required several cords back in the day to do so.
It was a process.
Yeah, it was a process. But it's just like, yeah, he's just got that on him, you know?
Yeah. And then they end up in like a hotel for a night and like they get into an argument and he just goes and gets it out of the truck and
Yeah.
starts setting it up.
Which he just left it in the bed of the truck too. I don't know if you noticed that. So it was just going to stay like not stolen all night in some seedy motel. I don't know.
You know, there was a lot of things happening in this movie where I was like, I don't think I'd be okay with that in this day and age.
I have a little bit of a theory, and I think that Corey's stepfather is actually an early representation of a video game villain.
Oh.
He's a prototype
Evil
for like an evil
stepfather.
stepfather, right? That we see in like Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
Interesting.
The director's notebook included a doodle of a man with a controller-shaped cane, very similar to the stepfather's walking stick. And he wanted like a real world boss level type thing for him. So
I mean, the dad got really into fighting the villains in the games.
sure did.
Like really into it.
So I think it really helps cement that whole abusive adult as a final boss archetype in later games. I think it's also like a little underlying storyline. So
I could see it.
yep.
There was so much in this movie.
It was so good.
I feel like we could watch it again and like pick up 100 new things.
Yes.
There's so much happening.
So spoiler alert, in the end, Jimmy wins. He takes the gold. He is the wizard. He is the
wizard
champion.
wins.
He wins all the fame, all the glory. You know, they're not going to put him in a home anymore. And then we find out along the way too that Jimmy's been carrying this lunchbox the entire
This
time.
lunchbox was driving me bananas.
Right? Because you never know what's in the lunchbox.
They didn't want to tell you what was in it. And he kept
No.
holding it between his knees at each game console.
Yeah.
And it was like neon yellow.
He would not let go of this thing.
It was so like, look at me, I'm an item to steal.
So we eventually find out that inside of this lunchbox is just photographs. Like there's nothing, there's no, I mean, as a kid,
there's a
so
few
you would think
other
there'd
like
be,
things.
yeah.
There's like a shoe. There's like some like papers, but like it's all from this like one person.
Yep. And we end up finding out that the entire reason this child wants to go to California had nothing to do with video games in the first place.
Really had not much to do with California itself.
No, he just wanted to go to where his family went on vacation one time and all took a picture together because he used to have a twin sister. And then we found out that his twin sister died in a drowning with him like right there next to her actively
Seeing
watching
the
her drown. So the 80s just really loved to just bash childhood
and that's
trauma
why the
real
like
hard.
the family's split up and the dad's suddenly evil and the mom's suddenly evil and living far away and that's why the kids are like getting split all crazy and this kid's going to it's like
it's a whole thing.
It is a huge catalyst that they save for like the final scene.
Yeah, there's just so much like adult drama. This movie is more adult drama with like Nintendo sprinkled in than it is Nintendo with adult drama sprinkled in.
Quite literally. I do think that they tried really hard to make this movie both appeasing for adults and children with this aspect. Because like there is so many things where I was like, if I was a child, A, I would have never clocked like half the jokes that they made. But B, like I would have not understood why this was so important. I would have been so upset that like there's a lot of drama and not a lot of video games.
Yeah. I was so excited to see this movie when it came out, and I remember that I did not get to go see it in the theater. And
the worst.
When you missed a movie in the theater, it was going to be like a year before it came out on video. So eventually it came out on video, and I got to rent it, and I got to go home, and so excited to see this movie finally. Dude, child me hated this movie.
I believe it.
I liked the Mario parts and the video game
but
parts,
it's
but
all
the
at
rest
the
of it
end.
was like, mm-mm. But now adult me loves this movie. I think this movie hits so hard. I will watch it over and over again. And it's not because it's great. It's just because I don't know.
It's wild.
It's a weird movie, and it's not what you expect for a company to pick to be an advertisement for its products.
Yeah.
At all.
So you told me before we watched it, I was like, hey, let's do this movie. And Brian looked at me and he goes, hey, just know this is a 90-minute ad for Nintendo. And that's it. Don't think about much else. And I was like, okay. I have a little knowledge about like original Nintendo. Let's do this. It is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It is completely the opposite, actually. Had you told me any of this happened, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have gone, that's not a 90-minute Nintendo ad for kids. No.
So anyhow, we get credits rolling, right? And there's this brief shot of Jimmy walking away from the CES building. He's got a Nintendo Power magazine tucked under his arm, and the camera kind of zooms in and lingers on this faded little thing that says "Coming soon, The Legend of Zelda," which was advertising basically Nintendo's next big thing. So that was kind of cool,
right? Because this was an ad for Mario, and then they just snuck in at the end. Also,
they were like, "Oh yeah, shit,
we're releasing a couple of games. Get excited!" And they even made like a couple Zelda references throughout the movie. It was so funny to me how many game references. It was like every other dialogue line was like a video game reference.
Yes,
it was cracking me up.
Another weird thing is the entire film's budget, which was made for $4.5 million. Which I guess back in the day, that's a lot of money.
That's
to throw
a
into this
lot
movie.
even today.
It probably cost him $1 million just to license "Send Me an Angel." So
fair,
yeah,
for the '80s, that's fair.
Right, that was the song.
Yep.
But anyhow, it was partially funded by a partnership with Sega. They just wanted to ride the coattails of Nintendo's hype. So Sega ended up later like pulling out after seeing the final cut. They claimed they had creative differences, which we just know they're just like, wait, you're not going to talk about Sonic? Why is this movie just about Nintendo?
What's going on?
Yeah.
I kind of get it. If this was not the movie I thought it was going to be, I wonder how they felt about it during final air.
Yeah. So it may not have won any Oscars, but it did cement the template for movies that treat video games as serious cultural touchstones.
It did.
Yeah, it also really gave us one of the first main depictions of a speed run, because they had to go through and see how fast they can get through Super Mario.
Yeah, and
right?
how many points they can collect within this limited time frame. It really, I haven't thought about it, but this might be one of the first like speed run.
That predated Twitch by like 2 decades.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, so let's go through and do some rapid fire stuff real quick.
Okay, let's
Drew,
do it.
what's your favorite video game?
Super Mario. It was one of the better scenes in that one, I think.
Mine was not in this game, but Dr. Mario, best game
Okay,
ever.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about that one a good amount.
What was your favorite game in the film?
I mean, it's got to be the Super Mario Bros. That's probably
Agreed.
like the. I think it's the longest stance of time, and I think it's the most like entrancing because
Yeah.
they're doing so much with it.
And we got to see Tanuki Mario for the first time. Like, you got to see Mario with the raccoon tail.
What a cutie pie!
My life was changed,
What
you
a
know?
cutie pie!
Oh, man. Would you watch this movie again?
You know, I would watch it again, and I would recommend it in the right setting. It's very specific, so you can't just like hit anyone with this recommendation, but like it is wildly hilarious.
Yes, it is. Oh, man. Rob says his classic is Dig Dug.
Ooh.
That game was hard. I was not good at Dig Dug.
I'm not good at mini games, but
Yeah.
all right. If you grew up with this movie, you probably still hear some of that like kind of synthy vibe whenever you pass an arcade, and you're discovering it now. And this is kind of where like cartridges were king and road trips felt like quest. It was so like this is such a specific vibe this movie has.
It's great. I just read today that Sony announced that they're going to discontinue physical media. They're no longer going to put games out on discs, only digital from here on out, right?
I think
know.
that's super
It's an end of
lame.
an era. It is. It's that era of not being able to own anything you own. Yeah. Anyhow, the wizard reminds us that sometimes the biggest battles happen not on screen, but in the hallway between a home and the arcade, and that a kid with a joystick can be just as heroic as any knight with a sword.
I feel like you practiced that one.
Thank you, I did.
Okay, let's see if I can. Thank you for joining us on this pixel perfect ride. That's my rehearsed line for the day.
Love it.
But go ahead and just drop us your favorite wizard moment if you've seen the movie. And if not, tell us what you thought of this really bizarre description we've given you. I hope you understand the premise enough based on everything we've said. We kind of went all over the place for a bit.
We should have really like titled this be like the ADHD movie review, where we jump all over the fucking place and we might miss the plot in the process.
But that's really how this movie felt. I felt like I was all over the place.
Yeah,
we were
kinda.
in Vegas at one point. We were in Reno at one point. We were in Utah for a while. We were in California for a while. I don't think I understand the direction they were headed.
Me either, but I'm tired of traveling.
Right?
So,
Especially in the desert. It's too hot. It's too hot here.
yep. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Otherwise, you'll miss our next deep dive into whatever retro treasure pops up on the feed. Until next time, keep your controllers charged. I can't believe you let me say that.
I can't believe how easily you said it. I think you got a little possessed at the end there.
I did. It's the power glove. It took over my mind.
Plugged in.
Aaron is so jealous right now.
I know he is. If Derek was here, he'd be jealous.
I love the power glove. It's so bad. Anyhow.
All right, we're getting off of here.
Some jewelry named after the wizard, obviously.
Obviously.
So we've got these awesome little marquee fans that we just dropped in our collection, and we named the wizard because that's what I wanted to name it, because I love this movie and I wanted to talk about it. So
Also,
here we
these come
are.
with some fun colored gemstones.
They do.
We don't get
they
to do that a lot.
No, we don't.
But we got some opals to do center opals in these, and they
do,
look so
yes.
cool. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've got a handful of pieces that'll be finishing up today. They got some white opal centers. We got some like mint green accents on the sides.
They
and something
look
else. They look so
good.
You also see there that little mini gold power glove, which is
so cool.
small version of this.
Let's talk about that.
Which I made because I'm obsessed with the power glove. It's one of my favorite accessories ever. So, I just wanted to make power glove jewelry, so I did. These are a limited one-off. I think we only made 2 of them, and there's only 1 left. So if you want that, you should snag it. It's
and
really
you can
sweet.
get 10% off.
Yeah, 10% off.
You just got to
that.
use code POWERGLOVE.
Yep.
So
or any of
look at
those
you go.
wizard ends. Just use that code at checkout. You're going to save 10%. They're super cool. We love them. We also just dropped like 30 new ends over the last couple of weeks. There's so much new jewelry on the website. It's insane.
So much.
All of our new displays.
And if you can believe it, I've got more new stuff to pitch at you when we're done with this.
Of course you do. What else? Titanium chains, like
Oh my
necklaces,
God.
bracelets,
And we're
wallet
anodizing
chains.
them now?
We can anodize them.
We can
Incredible.
do so many fun colors.
Yes. So those have been selling really well. Like y'all have been liking those. We've got like little mini curb chains, which kind of look like Cuban chains. I guess it's
so
Figaro chains
cool.
that look super nice.
And they're a great price point for clients.
Yes,
like they
yes.
retail at a really good point.
Yeah, and they're solid titanium too. So like never going to cause an allergy or anything like that. Like they're phenomenal. I like
really
them.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we got tons and tons of cool stuff.
Someone said, love the new anglers. I'm so glad
thank
you
you.
do. They're one of my favorite new pieces.
Thank you. We did make those angler ends, little fishy guys, and then we also made the companion weights, the Dream Masters.
They're so awesome.
And they're super cool too. So check those out. I think we're sold out of them right now, but I should have some finished up early next week.
Come back soon.
Yeah, they'll be done soon. I'm only one man. Can only do so much, and sometimes I got to stop and talk about movies. So
Every so often, every Wednesday at least.
exactly. Well, that's all I got for this week.
Yep, that's
Thank you
it.
guys so much for joining us. As always, if you missed any of this, remember we have a YouTube page. It's at Jewelry This Way on there. And
And we did
follow
some
us.
design updates on the
Yes,
YouTube
we
page.
did.
Oh
It
my
looks so
God, we
good.
look so like legit and official. Y'all should check it out.
we
Give
do.
us a little subscribe.
Yes, but all of our live streams are just posted and archived over there, so you can watch them at your own convenience, because we know that 3 p.m. on Wednesday is a weird time, but it works for us, so here we are.
Ta-da!
Yeah. We will see you guys again next week. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.